Good morning. Good morning. And in case that doesn't show up on the tape, it's because it's not in front of the microphone when I bang for clarification. Okay, I call the April 8th meeting of the DuPage County Board to order. A quorum of members is physically present. I will entertain a motion to permit those members not physically present due to, okay, all in favor? Okay, motion carries. Okay, I invite everyone to stand and join in the Pledge of Allegiance. Member Arkoff, will you please lead us in the pledge? Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I now invite Baha Mohinder Singh, head Granthi, from the Illinois Sikh Community Center to lead us in the invocation.
Good morning. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. O Master of all ages, O Master of all eternity, Supreme Master, the Divine Truth, I bow to you. Dear Lord, you are our Father, our Mother, our brother, our relative, and our friend. You protect us at all places. You are the truth. You are the creator and self-created without fear or enmity. You are beyond birth, beyond death. Your light is spread in all your creation and each one of us. Lord our God, with your grace, Illinois State has declared designated the month of April as a Sikh Awareness and Appreciation Month. Today in this gathering, DuPage County Chairman of the County Board and County Board members are doing the same and issuing the proclamation to the Sikh community. We thank you for the opportunity you have bestowed upon us to spread your compassion, love, and understanding among the residents of County of DuPage. Please guide us today in this gathering, give us spiritual wisdom, dispel the darkness of ignorance, and give us strength to do the best we are capable of. Give us focus and let us not waver. Let us not be self-willed. Keep us away from slander, malice, greed, and attachment. Let us not harbor hatred against anyone. Loving God, we pray for the world leaders for compassion, strength, wisdom, and guidance to the decisions we may reach out in solidarity to our brothers and sisters in need. May we walk on your path so that peace and justice becomes a reality for the world. As we sing your glory and pray for the peace among us and throughout this world, may our spirits always remain high. We pray for the welfare of all. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Deputy Clerk, please take the roll.
Cahill. Here. Childress.
Yes.
Covert.
Here.
Desart. Eckhoff. Evans.
Here.
Galassi. Garcia.
Here.
Heather.
Here.
Honig. Krajewski. LaPlante.
Here.
Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatore. You.
Here.
And Zay.
Okay, today we're going to start with a proclamation for Sikh Awareness Month, and I'd like to invite member Greg Schwarzy and invite Rahinder Singh, Satman Mango, Baha Mohinder Singh to the podium. Thank you. Okay, we are honored to celebrate April as Sikh Awareness Month and welcome our friends Rahinder Mango and Baha Mohinder Singh to accept our annual proclamation. Baha Singh is the head grantee of the Illinois Sikh Community Center in Wheaton. Mr. Mago, who has been with us over the past few years, is a resident of Wayne. Member Greg Schwarzy sponsored this proclamation in which we recognize Illinois' 25,000 Sikh residents. I'll read the proclamation and ask our guests to share their thoughts. Okay. Whereas Sikhs have been living in the United States for more than 120 years, and during the early 20th century, thousands of Sikh Americans worked on farms, in lumber mills, and mines, on Oregon, Pacific, and Eastern Railroad. And whereas Sikhism is the 5th largest religion in the world, and there are currently more than 30 million Sikhs worldwide, with 500,000 Sikh Americans and 25,000 Sikh Illinoisans. And whereas Sikh Americans make rich contributions to the social, cultural, and economic vibrance of the United States, including service as members of the U.S. Armed Forces and significant contributions in agriculture, information technology, small businesses, the hotel industry, trucking, medicine, technology, and numerous other industries. Whereas Sikh Americans distinguish themselves by fostering respect among all people through faith and service. And whereas DuPage County is proud to recognize the county's diversity makes us stronger, and we welcome the support members of the Sikh community, honoring them and celebrating the rich history and important service to our nation, our state, and here in our own DuPage County communities. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Deborah A. Conroy, Chair of the DuPage County Board, and members of the County Board do hereby proclaim April as Sikh Awareness and Appreciation Month, and encourage our residents to better understand, recognize, and appreciate the significant history and shared experiences of Sikh Americans. Approved the 8th day of April 2025 in Illinois. Second, all in favor? Okay.
Aye.
Okay, so, just for the record, Bhai Mahinder Singh. Bhai means brother, Bahai is another faith. Rajinder Singh Mago, and I'm Satnam Singh Mago. So the Sikh faith, it actually means student, so we're commanded to be lifelong students, which we go through a process of learning, unlearning, relearning. That is a lifelong process, and I think this is something that everybody needs to understand, that we're always trying to be better than what we were yesterday, and that's a big part of our faith. Our faith started 1469. The founder of our faith, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, was born in present-day Pakistan, in the Punjab region, which is northeast Pakistan, northwest India. And so that during his foundation of when he came to be, he rejected what his parents were teaching him. What his parents were teaching him was a caste-based Hindu faith, where people were divided based on their socioeconomic levels, based on race, based on tribe, based on religion in itself. So one of the big lightning rod instances was he was going to be entered into some type of ritual that he asked, well, when did my older sister do this? And his parents told him, well, she didn't because she's a woman. And so he said, if she came before me and she's not going to do this because she's a woman, well, I'm not going to do it either because that's unfair. She should have done it before I did it because she was older than me. And so he really saw that as an affront to fairness in general. He was a little boy and he rejected it. And then 6, we have a different interpretation of what happened next when he went missing for about 3 days after going for a swim. 6 have different stories on where he went, but the bottom line is he went away from home for 3 days, came back home and said, there is no Hindu, there is no Muslim, for everybody there's just God. And so he did not believe that Sikhs were better or worse than any other humans. And then thirdly, his father gave him 20 rupees in the 1480s to start a business. And when he saw a bunch of people on the streets that were hungry, he decided, I can't profiteer while there's hunger around me. So he views food as a human right. And one of the greatest sins amongst Sikhs is the idea that a people, a government, or a military could starve intentionally people through acts of war. That's not war. So these are affronts to Sikhism. Food is a human right. So one of the things that Sikhism teaches me is that I'm no better than anybody else. Nobody is better than me. Therefore, I have the crown of a king because I'm as good as a king. A king is as good as me. So in this, I appreciate this proclamation, but I implore all of you to truly look at the inequalities that we have in our society. And I want you to all think about, are you supremacists in your thought process? Are some people held to a higher standard? Are some people held to a lower standard? And do some of the international conflicts reflect this? My Sikh faith, it forces me to look at this and look at all humans as my brothers and sisters, because we all come from the same creator. We may have different names. We may say Yahweh, we may say Hashem, we may say Waheguru, we may say Krishna, we may say Allah. It does not matter. The reality is we're all the same. And we must practice that, and we must be radical in this practice. It's not a radical idea, but for some reason it has become. So thank you, and God bless.
Member Shorty's going to stay up here. Okay. Now we're going to do National Public Safety Telecommunications Week. And I'm not going to call everybody by name. This morning we celebrate National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week with some big news. Each year, the second week of April is set aside to recognize the important work of the dedicated men and women who are on the other end of the line when you dial 911. As we thank these life-saving professionals, we also announce that in DuPage County, you can now both call and text 911. This new option allows residents to send text messages directly to the 911 dispatchers when calling is not possible. Text to 911 is a critical step forward in making emergency services more accessible and inclusive. And we are proud to introduce this new safety measure today. Member Greg Schwarzy is chairman of our Emergency Telephone Systems Board, and Linda Zerwin is our ETSB Executive Director. They are here to remind us to call if you can and text if you can't. Thank you both for gathering this impressive group of professionals who answer those calls and texts. Joining us today are 3 public safety answering point directors. From ACDC, or Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center, is Director Mary Lou Hernandez to introduce who she has brought with her today.
Thank you for the celebration for our TCs. We have Laura Bertucci, Ben Koshling, Ben, Annie, David, Gracia Flores, Kristen, and Valerie. And Eric is our DD. Thank you.
Okay, and now we have our communications or DUCOM director, Jessica Robb. Please introduce the telecommunicators you have with you today.
Unfortunately, we were unable to have any of our telecommunicators as they are all at the phones answering at present, but we did bring some of our administrative staff who help us keep the center on track and support our TCs each and every day. Deputy Director Tyler Benjamin, our Administrator of Finance, Angela Apatakis, and our HR Director, Christine Gross. We also have our Chair President, sorry. Yes, David Brummel with us today. Former Mayor David Brummel. I apologize, Mayor. Yes. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, and from the Village of Naperville's Emergency Communications, Mike Rafferty.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for this honor. Really is. It's been an honor to be a dispatcher and help people, make a difference in people's lives. As you can see, everybody's doing that. Today, I'm here with Jade, who is in training, okay? And it's an intensive training program. She's doing a great job. And with Adriana, who is part of our administrative staff as well with the supervisors. I am a 911 dispatcher, and I'll be retiring soon. It's only been 46 years with the city, so thank you.
I think it's all about
Yeah. 44 of those are in dispatch, so thank you very much for this honor. Thank you.
Okay, and now allow me to read the proclamation. Okay, whereas since 1991, the second week of April has been celebrated as National Public Safety Communicators Week to recognize all public safety communicators, professionals who provide a central link to the public safety services on which citizens rely every day. Whereas the County of DuPage has 3 public safety answering points, including Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center, ACDC, DuPage Public Safety Communications, DUCOM, and the Village of Naperville, PSAP. For the enhanced 911 system servicing visitors and more than 927,263 residents of the County of DuPage and portions of Cook, Kane, and Will counties. Whereas the DuPage County residents now can send text messages to 911 dispatchers. The city of Naperville was the first DuPage community to go live with Text 911. The text to 911 service will greatly assist the deaf community as well as those who may be in domestic violence situations, are hiding, or simply can't make a 911 telephone call. Whereas these 142 public safety communicators are the first responders having the initial critical contact with our citizens during an emergency. Whereas the DuPage County Board acknowledges these 142 public safety communicators for continued diligence to public safety dispatching as one of DuPage County's first responders, providing the critical link between the 911 caller and the emergency responders during urgent and life-threatening situations, while sustaining the highest level of professionalism and customer service in the most difficult of circumstances. To your fellow first responders and the community, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Deborah A. Conroy, Chair of the DuPage County Board, and members of the County Board acknowledge the week of April 13th through the 19th, 2025 as National Public Safety Telecommunications Week, and further express our gratitude to all the men and women who have served telecommunicators. Second, all in favor? Okay. Or I can hand it.
I'm going to just say a few words and then we'll do a group photo if that's okay. So this is, what I'm going to say is specifically to the telecommunicators who are answering those phone calls every single day. So as a now retired 28-year career firefighter and paramedic, and certainly from a citizen's perspective, I know that if I ever need to dial 911, some of the best telecommunicators really probably in the world are going to answer the phone. You're going to be at the other end, and you're going to be sure to get me or whoever the resident is the help that they need. And now being able to provide another way for people to reach you in an emergency means one more way someone can get help in their biggest hour of need. So thank you so much for learning the new skill, text to 911. And I just want to make that the board here aware that This is not just, hey, let's do text to 911 and we'll enact it and everything will be okay. These telecommunicators had to train long, hard hours to be able to do this because it is such a critical factor, and they are the first recipients of 911 calls and texts. So we thank you for your dedication and skill while on duty handling emergency radio traffic and 911 calls within this rapidly changing work environment. You guys have seen so much change really over the course of even just a couple years. Throughout these challenging times, you continue to maintain your professionalism and exemplary service to your fellow first responders and the community each and every day. Along with the rest of the county board, we're happy to honor you during National Public Safety Telecommunications Week 2025. Thank you for a job well done every hour of every day of every year. So thank you very much. Okay, can we somehow squeeze in and we'll try to get a picture?
Madam Chair,
Oh, I'm sorry. Member Desart.
could I say a couple of words here? First of all, I'd like to thank you all for your service. And secondly, I'd like to tell you how important text to 911 is. 4 years ago this week, I couldn't breathe. Turns out I had double pneumonia, but I could not breathe. And there was no text to 911 at that time. And I was home alone, and I could not breathe. And so what I did is I called 911 and hung up and called 911. I couldn't talk. I could not talk. And one of you stayed with me. You know, I kept calling and hanging up just to try to get word out that I needed help. And one of you stayed with me, so thank you so much. I know I would not be here if it weren't for you, number one. Number two, thank God for text to 911, because that is a game changer for people like me who I could not talk to communicate my issue or where I was. So thank you, and thank God for text to 911. Thanks.
Member Galassi.
Thank you. I'd like to echo what was just said, because I can envision so many times where people could be in danger, and if they voice anything, they could put themselves in greater danger. So I love this idea of texting. I just was curious if there was a post about this on the county Facebook page, because I would like to post it on my personal page. So okay, wonderful. That's what I was wondering. Thank you.
Today's the official launch. Okay, Member Rutledge.
Thank you, Chair Conroy. I'm going to take my last opportunity to thank what you did for my family 7 years ago, the end of this month. Unfortunately, my husband collapsed at a friend's house. I was not there. You guys talked her through, first of all, getting him off the stool where he collapsed, but talked that person through CPR. She had no knowledge of that. They were able to get him out of her house, and for a mental health perspective from that person, she was so pleased that they were able to get him out of her house alive. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. I wish he was on your wall of saves, but what you did was extraordinary, and I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for that.
Member Cahill.
Yes, thank you very much. I just want to add to that I was a victim of a home invasion, and I called 911, and I heard my audio recording back, and I was like, oh, there's somebody in my house. I was so panicked, and the 911 operator was so calm and so cool, and I had 2 girls in the house upstairs, and the person was in my house. It was the most frightening experience of my life, and the operator was calm and cool and collected, and the police arrived immediately. So thank you.
Okay, now we're going to move on to a proclamation in honor of DuCom's 50th anniversary. And I'll ask Member Schwarzy again, today's the Member Schwarzy Day, and Jessica Robb to stay at the podium and ask DuCom members to come to the podium and invite Mayor Brummel. Oh, there he is. Okay. Okay. All right. To round off the celebration, we have asked DuCom members to join us at the podium to acknowledge 50 years of public service, safety service for DuCom during National Telecommunications Week. I'd like to present the proclamation and ask Jessica to introduce the DuCom members. Whereas DuCom was formed in 1975 as an intergovernmental agency as defined in the Illinois statute to provide centralized communications for northeast and northwest quadrants of DuPage County. Whereas DuCom is the largest consolidated dispatch center in the state of Illinois. And whereas DuCom is a 911 public safety answering point, a PSAP, responsible for radio communications and dispatch of fire, police, and emergency medical services for a 45-member agency. Whereas DuCom processes 1 million phone calls annually and dispatches 700,000 incidents from municipalities, fire districts, and the DuPage County Sheriff's Office, providing a high level of service to their citizens in public safety matters. And whereas the DuPage County Board wishes to acknowledge the unwavering commitment to public safety service from the days of the telex machines to text 911, providing the critical link between the 911 caller and emergency responders during urgent and life-threatening situations, while sustaining the highest level of professionalism and customer service in the most difficult of circumstances to your fellow first responders and the community 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for 50 years. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Deborah A. Conroy, Chair of the DuPage County Board, and members of the County Board acknowledge the 50 years of public safety excellence and further express the gratitude to all the men and women who serve as telecommunicators at DuPage Public Safety Communications. Do I have a motion? All in favor? Okay, enacted and approved on the 8th day of April, 2025.
Again, Chair Conroy, and I appreciate the story shared by the board today concerning your experiences regarding 911 service. I want to speak just a little bit about the text to 911 advancement going forth today for the county. This advancement is a significant step forward in making our emergency services more accessible, inclusive, and responsive. It reflects DuPage County's unwavering commitment to ensuring help is always within reach, especially for those who may not be able to make a voice call during an emergency. To understand just how impactful this service is, allow me to share a brief example. While we still haven't gone technically live, we have been taking in calls for a couple of our carriers without making the announcement to the county for the past week or two. This past week, a 7-year-old child used text to 911 to report a domestic violence situation unfolding in their home. Unable to make a phone call without being overheard, the child quietly texted DuCom, and thanks to the swift responses of our trained telecommunicators and law enforcement, help arrived in time to assist the victim and arrest the offender before further escalation. It's also quite fitting our text to 911 launch coincides with National Public Safety Telecommunicator Week 2025. Next week, we will pause to recognize and honor our dedicated 911 dispatchers, the calm voices on the other end of the line or text, who will provide life-saving guidance in our community's most critical moments. Their professionalism, focus, and compassion are the foundation of DuPage County's emergency response system. Text to 911 is more than just a new feature, it is a lifeline. It is safety, dignity, accessibility, all in one tool, and today we are proud to offer it to our residents and visitors throughout the County of DuPage. Thank you all, stay safe, and thank you for the recognition for 50 years of service.
Mayor Brummel, would you like to say a few words?
Well, Well, good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to be here. And the first thing I want to do is thank Jessica for highlighting the moment that we have all dreaded when you get up in front of a group and your mind goes blank. I know there was a lot of sympathy out there because I certainly have been there many times myself. So thanks, Jessica. She catches on quick. This is a really great occasion for me. I've been involved with DuCom as long as I've been mayor, for 20 years now, and been chairman of the board for 18 years. What an incredible organization that operates 99.9% of the time behind the scenes, and yet does an incredible job that is certainly underappreciated until you need it. I certainly have my story of, as some of you have shared, when the only thing I could think of was 911 and getting help, and that help showed up promptly and efficiently. How much DuCom and the other agencies add to the community is incalculable in terms of helping people in their dire straits when their worst possible moment is happening and they know they can call and get help. What an incredible thing, and the fact that this has been going on for 50 years and every year it's gotten better. And the high level of efficiency and accuracy that our TCs provide us is just incredible. If you ever have the privilege to watch one of our TCs at work, you say, how does that person do that? How does that person be so accurate, know exactly what to do, stay so calm? How do they do that day after day, hour after hour, 24/7? What an incredible group. So I'm so glad that we recognize the TCs this morning because they are the heart of the operation. It's not only a profession, it's a vocation. These people really, really believe in what they're doing, and if you talk to them, you know that. So what a nice thing it is to recognize that there are people doing good in the world. We're part of that. We provide the context for that success. DuCom's cooperation with the county, of course, gave us a state-of-the-art facility, which operates at a very, very high level. I suggest that DuCom is on the trajectory of being the best in the country, not only the best in the state, but the best in the country. So I'm going to watch it carefully. I'm having to give up my position soon, but I'm certainly going to keep watch on DuCom and be proud of the successes and the moments that are sure to come in the future. So thank you.
I'll be real brief. I'm really glad we're doing this today because, as you may have presumed with Mayor Brummel's speech, he didn't run for re-election, so he is stepping down as mayor of Warrenville at the end of this month, and with that comes his end of being on the exec board of DuCom and the chairman of DuCom. So the timing was good. As a longtime first responder in the DuCom system, I know all the outstanding work that DuCom does for sure. I've seen it. I've been a part of it. There's no doubt. We can't even count all the lives that have been saved over the 50 years that you guys have been doing this. DuCom is the cream of the crop, and congratulations on 50 years. So thank you.
Okay, I'm informed there is no public comment today, so if the board has received public comment via our online portal per board policy, those comments were provided to members yesterday, so they could be reviewed. Comments submitted electronically will be included in the minutes of the meeting. Okay, this morning, I'd like to thank our county staff for working this past weekend to help our neighbors in Southern Illinois. You may have heard about or perhaps driven through some of the heavy rains in Southern Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio that caused serious flooding. Our public works Deputy Director Sean Reese and OHSEM Director Craig Diekman and their teams worked together to provide 3 sandbag machines to Massac County in far southern Illinois. This is part of our response as members of the Illinois Public Works Municipal Aid Network. Thanks to all of our county workers who loaded up the equipment and helped get it to where it needed to be. While in this instance, DuPage is helping our neighbors to the south, when DuPage County needs help, its neighbors will return the favor thanks to our strong mutual aid network. It was a big week last week for all who competed in municipal and township elections. Congratulations to board member Sheila Rutledge, who was selected as the Winfield Township Supervisor. I look forward to working with Sheila in her new role and with each of the township municipal leaders when they take office next week. And finally, there's one more person here that we need to congratulate. Our own Nick Kottmeyer. Please stand, Nick. Nick Kottmeyer won the American Public Works Association's Public Works Leader of the Year Award. The award is for from the Chicago Suburban Chapter. Nick's many accomplishments over his career, you can stand still, his leadership, and especially the time he takes mentoring young engineers contributed to this selection. For those of you keeping track, it's been just 20 short years since Nick was named the Young Civil Engineer of the Year by the American Society of Civil Engineers. Nick, there aren't enough awards to capture everything you do to keep our DuPage County departments running like well-oiled machines. On behalf of the board, thank you for your great work. Congratulations, and congratulations on your well-deserved recognition. Okay. On to the consent agenda. To the consent items, I seek a motion to approve the consent agenda items. Okay, 25-985, DuPage County Board regular minutes, meeting minutes Tuesday, March 25th, 2025. 25-820, 3/21/2025 pay list, 25-834, 3/24/2025 auto debit pay list, 25-883, 3/25/2025 pay list, 25-924, 3/28/2025 pay list, 25-956, 3/31/25 auto debit pay list, 25-964, 4/1/2025 pay list, 25-846 Treasurer's Monthly Report of Investments and Deposits, February 2025, 25-965 change orders to various contracts as specified in the attached packet. All in favor? Okay, and we'll move on to County Board and Vice Chair Michael Childress.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before I start, I want to take a point of personal privilege to thank Nick Kottmeyer also. As chair of the Public Works Committee, he has really taken me under his wing and has just mentored me, and there's nothing that I've never asked that he hasn't had an answer. I just enjoy working with him, and I enjoy the time that we spend together. So thank you, Nick. All right. I'd like to move on CBR 2725, the appointment of John Perry to the Lyle Woodridge Fire Protection District.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Childress.
Yes.
Covert. Desart. Peckoff. Evans.
Aye.
Galassi. Heather.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Garcia.
Aye.
Honig. Krajewski. LaPlante.
Aye.
Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatori. You.
Aye.
Zay. and Cahill.
Okay. Vice Chair Childress.
Yes, I'd like to move on the appointment of Longree Wang to the Lyle Woodridge Fire Protection District.
Leave is granted. Vice Chair Childress.
Okay, the appointment, I'd like to move on CBR 2925, the appointment of Robert Wagner to the Salt Creek Sanitary District.
Leave is granted. Vice Chair Childress.
I'd like to move on CBR 3025, the appointment of Ruben Campos to the West Chicago Fire Protection District.
Leave is granted. Vice Chair Childress.
Yes, I'd like to move on CBR 3135, the appointment of Joseph Grabowski, I hope I didn't butcher his name, to the Glenbard Fire Protection District.
Leave is granted. Vice Chair Childress.
I'd like to also move on CBR 3225, the appointment of Stephanie Kaiser to the Naperville Fire Protection District.
Leave is granted. Vice Chair Childress.
And I'd like to move on CBR 3325, the appointment of John Burley to the DuPage Housing Authority.
Okay. Member Desart.
And
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to say about John Burley for the DuPage Housing Authority. You know, most of you don't know this because we've been working and running the DuPage Housing Authority seamlessly, but the DHA has experienced great transitions over the past 6 months. Our finance chair moved away. Our CEO has left us for Florida. An interim CEO started last week. And during that time, I just wanted to share that John Burley has been our rock. So I thank John Burley for his service and for his continued service. And I thank you, Chair Conroy, for keeping John Burley as an important member of the DHA. Thank you.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Childress.
yes,
Covert. Desart. Eckhoff. Evans.
Aye.
Galassi. Garcia. Heather.
Yes.
Honig. Krajewski. LaPlante.
Aye.
Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatori. You.
Aye.
Zay. And Cahill.
Okay. Vice Chair Childress.
and finally, I'd like to move on CBI 3425, resolutions approving the member initiative program agreements.
Okay. Leave is granted. Thank you, Vice Chair Childress. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Finance and Member Garcia.
Thank you, Chair Conroy. I make a motion to approve FIR 5425, acceptance and appropriation of the 51st year of the Community Development Block Grant, Program Year 25, Company 5000, Accounting Unit 1440, for the period of April 1st, 2025 through March 31st, 2026, in the amount of $3,744,889 for community development.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Garcia.
Aye.
Heather.
Yes.
Koenig. Krajewski. LaPlante.
Aye.
Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatori. You.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Childress.
Yes.
Covert.
Aye.
Desart. Eckhoff. Evans. And Galassi.
Okay, Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FIR 005525, acceptance and appropriation of the 37th year of the Emergency Solutions Grant, Program Year 25, Accounting 5000, for the period of April 1st, 2025 through March 31st, 2026, in the amount of $286,741 for the community development.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FIR 005625, acceptance and appropriation of the 34th year of the Home Investment Partnerships Grant, Program Year 25, Company 5000, Accounting Unit 1450, for the period of April 1st, 2025 through March 31st, 2026, in the amount of $1,727,602 for community development.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FIR 005725, acceptance and appropriation of the DuPage Housing Authority Family Self-Sufficiency Program, Program Year 25, Agreement FSS 25IL, Company 5000, Accounting Unit 1740, for January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025, in the amount of $184,000.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FIR 005825, authorization to transfer and appropriate up to, but not to exceed, $6,492,902 in additional funds from the Impact Fees Funds to the Impact Fees Funds, Company 1500.
Okay, roll call, please.
Garcia.
Aye.
Heather.
Yes.
Koenig. Krajewski. LaPlante.
I.
Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatori. You.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Childress. Covert. Desart. Eckhoff. Evans. And Galassi.
Okay, Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FIR 005925 as amended in finance, the additional appropriation for the impact fees funds, accounting units 3560, 3569, in the amount of $4,458,927, Division of Transportation.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
Make a motion to approve FIR 006025, acceptance and appropriation of the Help America Vote Act Polling Place Accessibility Grant, Program Year 25, Company 5000, in the amount of $675,236 for the County Clerk Election Division.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
Make a motion to approve FIR 006125, acceptance and appropriation of the Illinois Voter Registration Systems Grant, Program Year 25, Company 5000, Accounting Unit 4250, in the amount of $922,831 for the County Clerk Election Division.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FIR 006225, budget transfers for 8/2025, various companies and accounting units.
Leave is granted. Okay, thank you. Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FIR 006325, interfund loan from the general fund to the county infrastructure fund in the amount of $22 million, Division of Transportation.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FIR 006425, authorization to transfer an appropriate amount not to exceed $5 million in additional funds for the general fund to the county infrastructure fund for the fiscal year 2024, surplus item.
Okay, roll call, please.
Garcia.
Aye.
Heather.
Yes.
Honig. Honig. Krajewski. LaPlante.
I.
Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatori. You.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Childress. Covert. Desart. Eckhoff. Evans. And Galassi.
Okay.
Galassi.
Thank you, Member Garcia. Okay, we're going to move on to Animal Services. Member Desart, do you have an update for us?
I do. Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I just want to remind everybody, especially the public who are animal lovers, that our Raise the Woof Gala is April 25th, so it's coming up. There are still tickets available. And, you know, the financing, the money is going to help us finish paying for a beautiful new animal services building. So it's very, very important you buy a ticket and attend. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Development and Member Tornatori.
Thank you, Madam Chair. With your leave and leave of the body, I'd ask that item 12A be pulled as the petitioner has asked that it be withdrawn. Moving on to item 12B, I'll move to approve DCO 16-25, zoning 25-3, an approval for a variation to substitute a paved surface driveway for a gravel driveway. This was denied by the zoning hearing officer and the development committee. If the board wishes to allow this, it will require a 3/4 majority.
Okay, roll call, please. Been moved and seconded.
Tornatori.
No.
You.
No.
Zay. Cahill. No. Childress. No. Covert. Desart. No. Eckhoff. No. Evans. No. Galassi. No. Garcia. No. Heather.
No.
Honig. No. Krajewski. LaPlante.
No.
Ozog. No. Rutledge. No. And Schwarzy.
Okay, and on to, thank you, Member Tornatori, and
you,
on
Madam
to
Chair.
Economic Development and Member Yu.
No update. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, and now on to Environmental and Member Rutledge.
Thank you, Chair. For those who love them, it's time to put your hummingbird feeders out. Thank you.
Okay, all right, and on to ETSB and Member Schwarzy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I did want to thank you for recognizing our telecommunicators this morning. You know, we do it every year, but it's a small gesture, but I think it's very important, so I'm grateful to you for that. I'll move on ETSR 1425, a resolution for a lease agreement between the County of DuPage, the Emergency Telephone System Board of DuPage County, and the Village of Addison for new antennas and space in the communications building adjoining the tower, and this will be pending parent committee approval tomorrow.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Schwarzy.
Aye.
Tornatori. Aye. You.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Aye. Childress. Covert. Desart. Eckhoff. Evans. Galassi. Garcia. Heather.
Yes.
Koenig. Krajewski. LaPlante.
Aye.
Ozog. And Rutledge.
Okay, thank you, Member Schwarzy. And Human Services and Member Schwarzy.
Thank you, thank you. I just wanted to let this committee know that with regards to the Small Human Services Grant, the portal closed on Friday. We have approximately 75 grant applications that have been received. Finance staff, along with state's attorney staff, will be reviewing those over the course of approximately the next month or so. The plan is to have staff present that to our Human Services Committee at our first meeting in May with potential check reception on June 24th. So more information coming. Please reach out to me, send me an email if you have specific questions. But again, I'll continue to update you as we move along. So thank you. I'll move on. Item HSR 825, a recommendation for approval of a memorandum of understanding between the Village of Glen Ellen and DuPage County, with DuPage County to act as the responsible entity and perform the environmental review under 24 CFR Part 58 as necessary for Glen Ellen's community project funding grant.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Schwarzy.
Aye.
Tornatori. Aye. You.
Aye.
Zay. Aye. Cahill. Aye. Childress. Covert. Desart. Eckhoff. Evans. Galassi. Garcia. Heather.
Yes.
Koenig. Krajewski. LaPlante.
Aye.
Ozog. And Rutledge.
Okay, Member Schwarzy.
Thank you. I move on HSP 1725, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order issued to Carevoyant Inc. for historical access data license fee for Carevoyant LTC software to reside on DuPage County's file server and support for the period May 1st, 2025 through April 30th, 2026 for a total contract amount not to exceed $55,000.
Okay, leave is granted. Thank you, Member Schwarzy. Okay, Judicial and Public Safety and Member Evans.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move on JPSR-5-25, resolution to rescind JPSP-39-24 issued to Video and Sound Service, Inc. to provide maintenance and repair of the campus security system as needed for the county campus, and the contract total amount of $301,582.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Evans.
Aye.
Galassi. Garcia. Heather.
Yes.
Koenig. Krajewski. LaPlante.
Aye.
Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatori. You.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Childress. Covert. Desart. And Eckhoff.
Okay, thank you, Member Evans. Legislative and Member Desart.
Thank you, Madam Chair. No report at this time.
Okay. Public Works and Vice Chair Childress.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move on PWR 225, amendment to the county contract 21105 PW, which has been renewed via resolution PWP 425 issued to Univar Solutions for sodium bisulfite for both the Woodridge and Norwood waste treatment facilities in bulk on an as-needed basis for Public Works for the change order to decrease the contract by the rate of 19%, 4.19%, I'm sorry, taking the original contract from $2.65 per gallon delivered and resulting in a new contract rate of $2.54, a decrease of 4.19%.
Okay, it's been Moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Childress.
Yes.
Covert. Desart. Eckhoff. Evans. Galassi. Garcia. Heather.
Yes.
Koenig. Krajewski. LaPlante.
Aye.
Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatori. You.
Aye.
Zay. And Cahill.
Okay, Vice Chair Childress.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move on PWP 425, the recommendation for the approval of the contract of Univar Solutions to furnish and deliver sodium bisulfite to the Woodridge and Norwood wastewater treatment facility in bulk as needed for a period of April 8, 2025 to March 31, 2026 for a total contract to not exceed $45,000.
Leave is granted. Vice Chair Childress.
I'd like to move on PWP 525, the recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Olson Roofing Company to prepare, remove, and replace roofing systems on the Southeast Regional Water Facility per supplied specifications for Public Works for a period of April 8, 2025 to November 30, 2025 for a total contract not to exceed $193,325.
Leave is granted. Vice Chair Childress.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move on FMP 1725, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Hay and Associates to provide natural area management, including controlled burning, weeding of the native gardens on the County campus for the facilities management for a period of May 1, 2025 through April 30, 2026 for a total contract amount not to exceed $41,000.
Leave is granted. Vice Chair Childress.
And finally, I'd like to move on FMP 1625, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Nolan Sales Corporation to furnish, deliver, and install interface carpet and flooring as needed for the county facility for facilities management for a period of April 15, 2025 through April 14, 2027 for a total contract not to exceed $150,000.
Okay. Leave is granted. Thank you, Vice Chair Childress.
Thank you, Madam
Stormwater and Members A.
Good morning, Madam Chair. For committee update, not only is next Tuesday Tax Day, but is the 19th Annual Sustainable Design Challenge hosted by DuPage County and our partner Scarce. The challenge invites local high school students to research sustainable design practices such as green infrastructure and STEM strategies, and then they build models of the designs which are put on display. During the early years of the challenge, the models were just put on display to the public, but in recent years it's become a competitive event with judging and prizes. It's something students have used on their college applications. Over the years, we've had nearly 600 student teams comprised of thousands of students participating in the challenge. Not only does the challenge encourage talents to create amazing technologically advanced building designs, as a side note, it's amazing to see the advancements. When they started, it was just popsicle sticks and Legos. Now it's CAD design and computer design, and it's really come a long way. Several students who have participated in the past have taken careers in sustainable design, and this event was their first exposure to this. And this year we have 26 teams coming from Glenbard East, Lake Park High School, Hinsdale Central, and Mateo Valley. The county staff will lead them on a tour of our green practices on the county campus, as well as teach them about something about our countywide flood control facilities. Current high school students are the future stewards and leaders of the community, and we're so impressed what they've accomplished at such a young age. Again, this is our 19th year. I've been lucky enough to be the chair during those years, and it's really come a long way, and we really have to thank our partner Scarce, who spends months coordinating and prepping for this event, and they do a great job. Again, it's our 19th year, and it will be in the atrium from 9 to 11, so I'm hoping board members and staff can go down and take a look at the hard work that the students have done. With that, I move on SMR 1-25, intergovernmental agreement between Naperville Park District and the County of DuPage for intergovernmental cooperation and utilization of available resources for the Riverwalk project.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Zay.
Aye.
Cahill. Childress. Covert. Desart. Eckhoff. Evans. Galasi. Garcia. Heather.
Yes.
Honig. Krajewski. LaPlante.
Aye.
Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatori. And you.
Aye.
Okay, members A.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move on SM 2-25, intergovernmental agreement between the County of DuPage and the Village of Winfield for Winfield Creek Stream Restoration Project.
Leave is granted. Members A.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move on SMP 7-25, approval of an agreement between the County of DuPage and Pizone Associates to provide professional native vegetation management services, stormwater management from May 1st, 2025 through April 30th, 2026 for the amount not to exceed $100,000. This is the second of 3 options to renew.
Okay, leave is granted. Thank you, members
Thank you,
A.
Madam Chair.
Technology and Member Covert.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I make a motion to approve TECO 3-25, amendment to the county contract issued to Dell Inc. for a Microsoft Enterprise Agreement for all Microsoft software and Azure Cloud Services for GIS and information technology to increase the encumbrance by $7,470, resulting in an amended contract total of $3,857,514.05, an increase of 0.19%.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Covert.
Aye.
Desart. Eckhoff. Evans. Galasi. Garcia. Heather.
Yes.
Honig. Krajewski. LaPlante.
Aye.
Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatori. You.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. And Childress.
Okay, Member Covert.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I make a motion to approve TER 1-25, revision to the Technology Resources Acceptable Use Policy.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Member Covert. Okay, Transportation and Member Ozog.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move for approval of item 250811, amendment to resolution DTP 006423 issued to Monroe Truck Equipment Incorporated to furnish and deliver Monroe spreader and plow repair and replacement parts for the Division of Transportation to increase the funding in the amount of $50,000, resulting in a final county cost of $140,000, an increase of 55.56%.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please. Oh, I'm sorry.
Question.
Member Rutledge.
Thank you, Chair Conroy. To get on. In finance, Director Trivedi said that this was the result of an accident, and I'm wondering why insurance might not have been applied to this.
Okay.
Yeah, this is future.
Yeah, so the situation we ran into was it was a crash where the back of the truck was hit and damaged, and we had to go out and get the repairs done. The point of this is simply to set ourselves up to have that service available to us to get those things done as they occur in the future. Not necessarily.
So this would not have been eligible for an insurance claim?
Unfortunately, I believe that this was a result of multiple plows hitting each other as a result of what was going on the street.
Self-inflicted?
So,
Oh, yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
some debate about that.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay, roll call, please.
Ozog.
Yes.
Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatori. You.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Childress. Covert. Desart. Eckhoff. Evans. Galasi. Garcia. Heather.
Yes.
Honig. Krajewski. And LaPlante.
Aye.
Member Ozog.
Thank you. I move for approval of DTR 425, awarding resolution to Precision Pavement Markings Incorporated for the 2025 Pavement Marking Maintenance Program for an estimated county cost of $496,037.30 per lowest responsible bid.
Okay, leave is granted. Thank you, Member Ozog.
Thank you.
And on to old business. Okay, Member Garcia.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I did this in finance, and I think it's worthy of doing it here. Also, thank the election division and the county clerk's office for a very well-run election. I think they're still counting the vote by mails as they come in, so I just wanted to thank them for a job well done. Also wanted to thank them for getting the grant money to help some of our polling places become more accessible for those that have disabilities. So I'm grateful for the forward thinking of the clerk's office and the election division. So I just want to say thank you.
Okay, and Anyone else in old business? Okay, new business? Member Evans?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to say hello to my final group of students from Hinsdale Central High School. These are also students of Mr. Wilbur, and they are just shadowing me today.
Okay, welcome. Member Desart.
Thank you. I just want to show appreciation to our staff. They're incredible people. I mean, when I have constituents call on a weekend or a morning or an evening, it's no big deal to me. That's what I signed up for by running for this position. But, reaching out to Stephen on a Sunday for transportation, or reaching out to Nick before 8 a.m. on a weekday, or reaching out to Stormwater, Sarah on a weekend, they're so responsive and so great, and they didn't sign up to be on call 24/7. So thank you so much. I really appreciate our staff for being so responsive. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, well, then I am informed we do not have matters before us requiring, to enter into executive session. I will take a motion to adjourn the meeting. Okay, all in favor? Okay, this meeting is adjourned till Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025 at 10 a.m.